So Quinton, let's take me back to the beginning. Obviously, you had a stellar career at Bishop Kearney. When you walked in this gym for the first time, what made you fall in love with Temple and decide, you know what, this is where I'm going to spend my college career playing ball?
I feel like the coaches, they were just really genuine, and like the stuff that they were telling me, they didn't promise me anything. They just told me like if I came in and worked hard, that I can make it what I wanted it to be. So it would be what I made of it. So that's what happened.
And how have you kind of seen that play out? Fast forward, you had a breakout freshman year. Everybody saw you. They were like, this kid is the future of Temple basketball. And your name has been all over this program for as long as anybody can remember. When you look at headlines that say Temple basketball, your name is always in them. Quinton Rose puts up 20-something points every game. When you see that, where do you see all the work that you put in, that work that the coaches told you about when you were coming in?
When I see stuff like that, I just think back to times where I'm in the gym, nights before the game, early mornings, late nights, and just like right after practice, before practice. And I just appreciate it, and I'm thankful that I did it. And I mean, I just look at it as a stepping stone, and it's just like ready to take the next step.
And when you see all of that, especially knowing that you do take all of the extra time to practice, that's something that goes back to the Kearney days, I'm told, that you would spend really late nights in the gym practicing your shooting, all of that. Where did that work ethic come from?
My parents, both my parents work really hard. My grandparents, everybody in my family just works really hard at what they do. So, I mean, growing up watching them do that, I just translated it to basketball, and it's worked out for me.
And you've been able to set an example for your younger brother, Miles. Well, how has he kind of looked up to you and your college career, and what have you seen out of him and how he's been able to grow too?
My first couple years, it was kind of difficult because he was at that age where he was like in denial that he looked up to me, but like everybody knew he did. So like now, last year, he really started to like tell, like we used to talk about, like we would talk a lot about the games, and he would just ask me like what I work on or what I would do in certain situations, and I would tell him. So I think just him maturing, he's realizing that like he'll be in my shoes in a few years, so he's like much more open to listening now.
Coach McKee was talking a little bit about that with you as well, is that the biggest difference between freshman Q and now senior Q is your maturity level and your ability to lead without having to say much at all. How do you see that growth in yourself, and how do you see yourself as a non-vocal leader?
I think it's just like guys saw that like I saw success early, so I mean, it makes it much more easier to lead because like if they see that I did something good, they're just gonna be like, all right, well, maybe that's the way to go. Or like if they see I'm going to the gym, or other captains like Nate or JP are going to the gym, then the rest of the guys just follow along, and they feel like that's just the right thing to do to make the team the best we can be.
You are the highest rated recruit in your class, and obviously, you know, numbers don't mean everything, but now fast forward to today, you're on track to be the fourth player to pick up 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, 300 assists, and 200 steals, which is a huge, huge, huge feat in college basketball today. What do you think what does that mean to you that those numbers are all lined up with your name on a stat sheet?
I mean, it means a lot. I just go out there and play the way I know how to play, so, and like those things are happening. So I mean, it's kind of eye-opening. Like that's really what I'm doing, because at the time I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just going out there trying to get a win, playing my hardest. So I mean, it does mean a lot when I take a step back and look at it.
When you take a step back and look at where you're going, obviously you've already done the NBA draft thing. You declared without an agent, so you know you were able to come back and play your 4 years here. What's next for you with that, with the possibility of playing pro?
I mean, I think that all depends on how we finish out this season. The success of this team will ensure the success of any individual. So I mean, my main focus is just winning out this season, doing as best as we can, and I feel like personally, like the better this team does, the better I'll do individually. That's how I look at it.
You've played in an NCAA tournament before. You're not a stranger to that stage. What would it mean for you to spend your senior season playing in March?
It would mean everything. Last year we got there, but you know we lost in the first round, so it wasn't really what we wanted. But I feel like this year, if we just lock in these last few games, the sky's the limit for this team. It's not over. I mean, we had a rough stretch, but I feel like we can get out of it. And playing in March would just mean everything. And it's my last season, so I would love to.
You guys have new leadership this season. You spent 2 full years with Coach Dunphy. You had Coach McKee as the coach in waiting last year while Coach Dunphy finished out his coaching career here, and now you have Coach McKee full-time. What has it been like having a Philadelphia legend coach you?
It's been great. It's really different because him and Coach Dunn are really different, but Coach McKee's played at the highest level, and he's done all of the things that me and my teammates want to do. So it's like providing us the blueprint to be successful on the court, off the court, and I just take that in and try to implement everything he tells me from day to day.
When you look back at the 4 years you spent here and you look out over this court and just all of the memories that have amassed here, not just playing basketball but outside of it, what do you take away? What do you think the biggest reward has been leaving Rochester, coming to a city that's basically known for college hoops?
I think it's the relationship I've made with my teammates. We went from just strangers to brothers these past 4 years, and I think that's the thing that I would cherish the most going forward.
What would you say to anybody younger in the Rochester basketball community who looks up to guys like you and Anthony Lamb and Nas and Isaiah? When they look at you and see what you've done, what kind of advice can you give to them about what it means to continue and keep playing at the highest levels?
Just keep working. Those rankings and stuff like that don't really mean too much in high school. I know that's what used to discourage me, but I just use it as fuel. So if anything, just keep working, use that as fuel to keep you pushed, keep you going, and good things will happen.
And one last question for you. Those names that I said before, they're some of the biggest names in college basketball right now, and then you have guys like Thomas Bryant, signed major NBA deal. What does it mean to be included in groups of guys who have been recognized for their talent, their ability, and just how they ball?
It means a lot. I've been playing with Thomas since the 3rd grade. Me, Nas, Anthony, we all worked out together the whole way of high school basically. So I mean, it means a lot that our hard work's finally showing off, and it's good to see the rest of those guys being successful as well, because we were all putting in the work together.
What would it mean to play against them in the NBA?
It would mean everything. I would love to do that. Those guys are some of my closest friends, and that would just be fun.